plays. He's the X factor. I think he's the missing piece for Arsenal winning the Premier League, in my opinion.
The missing piece, as in, by signing him, they do win the Premier League?
The pressure's on now not to win it if they don't win it. You know, he's gone out. I think he's bought amazingly. They needed a holding midfield player. They bought a top draw one. They needed a centre forward. They bought a centre forward. Now they bought someone who can break defences. You know, he could get in a lot of teams. I watched Arsenal a lot. When the pressure's on, they find it hard to break teams down. They rely on Odegaard. If Odegaard doesn't do it, and he didn't do it last season, they struggled. Saka got injured. You know, he's the other one they rely on. All of a sudden, you got him. He is different class. He's different class.
So is he actually a more significant signing than striker, Gyökeres?
In my opinion, I think so. I think, you know, because Havertz can play up front. If you know, when you've got Eze in the team... No, he can't. He's injured. But with Eze in the team, he makes things happen. He's the X factor. He ain't going to run around. The fans need to understand that. He's a bit like an Ozil sort of player. You know, they glide around. They're very talented. They're not going to track back 60 yards. You know, forget about that. Give him the ball. He will make things happen and he will break defences down. You know, I was shocked that Chelsea didn't go for him. You know, they rely on Cole Palmer too much, in my opinion. You need more than one X factor. And if you can get more than one match winner on the pitch, you know, you've got every chance of winning football matches. And I think he's an amazing signing for Arsenal. He's one of the players that I would pay to watch play football.
Our chief correspondent, Carve Solokol, is with us as well as Dave and Merson and myself. Carve, how is it that we've managed to mock up this image of Eze in an Arsenal shirt and not a Tottenham shirt?
I know we're talking about the fact that Arsenal have hijacked this deal, but Arsenal actually done a lot of work on this throughout the summer. He's not a player that they suddenly got interested in yesterday. They first made contact with Steve Parish at Crystal Palace earlier this summer, just to let Crystal Palace know that they were interested in signing him, and also to let Crystal Palace know that they wanted to be kept updated about any developments regarding Eze's future. Now, what really changed this week is that Spurs obviously made their move. Spurs agreed a deal with Crystal Palace. They agreed a deal with the player as well. But then Kai Havertz was injured on Sunday. So that accelerated Arsenal's decision-making processes. They decided that they couldn't risk going into this season with having the kind of injury problems that they had last season. And that's why they made their move, their late move for Eze. And because Eze's a Arsenal fan, it was a simple decision for him to make. He wanted to play for Arsenal. It's been his dream to play for Arsenal. What I think is particularly interesting with the news that we've just brought you in the last few minutes, the fact that Eze is not going to play tonight, because we were led to believe that the reason he wasn't going to go to Spurs is that Spurs had agreed a deal yesterday with the club and with the player, but Crystal Palace had said, hang on a minute, we don't want to complete this deal just yet because we want him to play on Thursday night. Once that game is out of the way, then he can go to Spurs. But now it seems to be different rules for Arsenal than the rules for Spurs, because he's not going to play because he obviously doesn't want to jeopardise his move to Arsenal. But it seemed that he was going to play if he'd been on his way to Spurs.
Interesting. And Merce, just in terms of, you know, you talked about how big a signing you think this is for your old club. What will the reaction be like inside that Arsenal dressing room? Is it thumbs up all round at the arrival of a quality player, or is there now a bit of insecurity there from players looking over their shoulder? Oh,
no, they need to win the Premier League, these players. You know, the more top draw players they get in at the top end of the field, the better it'll be. 100%. He will lift it. You know, when you're playing for your Arsenals, your Chelseas, not so much Man United at the moment, but, you know, over the years it has been. You know, your Liverpools, your Man Cities, they kick off and 10 people go and sit behind the ball. 9 times out of 10 in the Premier League, you have to break them down. He breaks people. He glides past people. He doesn't even touch the ground sometimes. He just glides and he goes past people. He wins free kicks. He makes things happen. And this is no disrespect to Palace, where he was outstanding. He's playing with another even top quality player now. You know, gone up another level. Yeah, and I'm so excited. I don't really get excited for signings too often. I'm very excited for this because I thought Liverpool, if they go and get Isak, you're thinking, it could be another year or second. They are right in it for me now, Arsenal.
Vinny, what can you tell us?
Arsenal's hunt for Premier League glory may have just taken a massive turn with the arrival of Sayseze. According to Paul Merson, the dynamic playmaker could be the missing piece that transforms the Gunners into genuine title contenders. His creativity, flair, and ability to unlock tight defenses are exactly what Arsenal have been lacking in their push to challenge Manchester City at the top. Merson believes that with Eze pulling the strings in midfield, Mikel Arteta now has the perfect balance between experience and youthful energy to mount a serious title charge. The former Arsenal star went on to highlight how Eze's versatility will give Arteta a tactical edge in crucial fixtures. Capable of playing centrally or out wide, the 26-year-old adds unpredictability to Arsenal's attack, making them harder to contain for even the toughest defenses. With the Emirates crowd buzzing and the team already showing strong early season form, Merson insists that Eze's presence could be the defining factor that turns Arsenal's potential into silverware this season.